today's hot topics and we weigh them against the Word of God because God does have a view.
Amen.
And today is such a special show for me. For anyone who knows me, it's about my favorite subject, animals, more specifically, dogs. Of course, I have 5 dogs and they are my children. And we're going to talk about dogs. And, you know, my husband has said so many times, Jackie, when I die, I hope I come back as your dog.
Well, you know, we do have a lot of animal lovers here at the Christian View. And we're going to talk today about the funny things we do with and for our animals. Now, Jackie, I totally admire you for the love that you have for your dogs. And I have a dog, and I remember Dawn and I have talked about my little dog. I have an English bulldog, and she's not the nicest smelling little thing occasionally. And Dawn's like, why do you have this dog? I know you remember that comment.
Yeah, well, I grew up in a home. My mom had allergies, so we didn't have pets, and I got mauled by a bulldog and had to have stitches and a traumatic experience. So I grew up being afraid of dogs. If a stray dog comes up to me, I immediately freeze. And so while I admire animal lovers, and I'm not an animal hater, it's a little bit different for me than it is for you.
Yeah, we've got we've got an adopted dog from a shelter named Max, and he has separation anxiety and has to be with us every second. And then we have a little cat named Millie, who's named after my friend who's here today in the audience.
Okay.
And somebody put her in the little drain in front of our house, and we just fell in love with her and had to keep her. So we love animals at my house. I don't know what we'd do without them.
You're allergic too, aren't you?
Yeah, and I too, like Dawn, am allergic to pets, but I did have a pet dog, and her name was Spanky, and I named her after my favorite character on the Little Rascals. And she lived forever, and we just had a ball with her, but I too had the same fear of dogs, and my great aunt decided one way to help cure it was to give me a dog, and my parents agreed, but you know, it was a fun time, and we enjoyed Spanky.
That is a great way to cure fear for children, and it really does help to make them more confident. Sometimes if kids need to come out of their shell, I mean, statistics have shown that it really can help the kids. We have a lot of animals. We have horses and cats and dogs, and our son has 6 dogs, and pound dogs have always, pound dogs have, and it was a lot of dog food, and he's in his house, you know, they're all in his house with him, but
I'll tell you something, Ann. As much as I love my dogs, as much as they are such a huge part of my family, I haven't gone to the extreme yet, like Leona Hemsley, or some of the others who leave their millions and millions of dollars to their dogs in their will so they can continue living a life of luxury, getting their pedicures, eating filet mignon. I've not gotten to that, but I will say this.
Wow.
In my will, it will be specific. If ever who is getting their inheritance had better take care of my dogs.
Wow.
Now, that is part of our life, and they definitely have to take care of our dogs.
Well, that's
if something
getting
happens.
close to Leona Hemsley, I think. You're getting pretty close.
Yeah,
to her,
you think
aren't
so?
If you put
I'm
them
going to
in
make sure they're taken care of.
Yeah.
I nannied for a family that their dog was part of their family, and one day it started doing all these crazy things, and I called them. They said, it's having a seizure, and what we need for you to do is just lay on top of it and stroke it and tell it, it's going to be okay.
Did you do it?
It's going to be okay. If you know me, I did do it. My friends all wanted a video of that because that was an unusual sight to see me like.
Can you do CPR to a dog?
They asked me if I knew how to do it. I draw the line.
And there was just a recent study, like you were talking about, Leona, a woman who left $13 million to her cat. And I was watching an episode with Nick and Mariah Cannon before their separation, and they were talking about their dogs, and they have all these dogs, and the dogs have a separate house, and they were paying someone almost $100,000 a year to care for the dogs, and the dogs all had their own room and just their own space.
One of them had that indoor tree house for their cat, an indoor tree for their cat.
See, Lee, I think that's where I draw the line. I think that's absolutely over the top. And I understand, I'm not saying that it's a problem, but I'm saying that I'm not saying it's a problem for people to love their animals. Let me clarify that. But I think it's a problem when we put too much emphasis and we put a lot of money, because think of all the good we could be doing with the money that we invest in that. Our dogs, all they want is to be loved, and cared for, but our dogs are for us. We don't live for them. God created them so that they're a companion to us and help us.
Yeah, people do some crazy things with animals now, and
Yeah.
they're getting crazier with what kind of pets, like chickens. I saw, you know, a lot of people that call chickens their
Birds.
pets.
A lot of people have birds.
Yes, my granddaddy had a pet alligator, and my grandmother had a pet pig, and I think the alligator actually ate the pig. Or maybe we did. I don't know, but y'all might have.
You know, I found out this week when we were studying that dogs are the only species that will make eye contact with you, and that out of emotion or whatever, out of fear, they will run to a human for safety. And no other animal does that. And I didn't know that before today, you know.
They're precious. I saw a picture someone had on Facebook of their dog. I don't know if you saw it, and it was literally crying with tears coming down. I've never seen a dog cry. I've never seen the tears rolling down a dog's face. Have you ever seen that?
No,
but I saw that.
They have emotions. They have personalities. And you know, horses. We have horses. There are so many pets that I would have, but I draw the line when it comes to snakes and spiders.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of people who have those. If you got a little boy who loves that, good for you. Because I'm glad mine didn't. That's right. I couldn't have done it.
No, I can't do that. Stay with us. We're coming right back with more on dogs, animals in general. Thank you so much. That's good. I'm going to tell you what.